Welcome back to our 2-minute Devos. We're going through the entire book of James together, just 2 minutes at a time, Monday through Friday, and I'm pumped that you're joining with us. James chapter 2 is where we find ourselves today. Verses 1 through 8 is the prescribed reading. Now, verse 1, I'm going to read that, and then I'm going to jump to verse 8. Why? Because verse 1 establishes the context. Verse 8 is the response. James 2:1 says, "Dear brothers and sisters, how can you claim to have faith in our glorious Lord Jesus Christ if you favor some people over others?" Here we get the context of what's going on. We see that there are church people, Christians that are favoring some groups more than other groups. People are beginning to discriminate based upon nationality, background, economic status, whatever it is. I believe it's a tragedy in the Church of Jesus Christ. Why? Because we are all products of grace. We are all sinners. That next to Christ we have fallen short, but because of the grace of Jesus Christ, the grace of God that was poured out upon all of us, we all are products of grace. So therefore, as I've heard the old saying say, the ground around the cross is all level. And so James writes to the church and he's dealing with them on that, and he helps bring them into a place where they should properly respond to the issue of categories. And he says this in verse 8. "Indeed, it is good when you obey the royal law as found in the scriptures, love your neighbor as yourself." How do you remedy categories in the church? You love people like you love yourself. But I will say this, it is impossible to fully listen and abide by the second greatest commandment unless you abide by the first commandment. What's the first and the greatest commandment? Love the Lord your God with all of your heart, mind, soul, and strength. Because as you love him and you receive from him, you in turn know what to give and to pour out on other people. Do you see people through the idea or through the lens of categories? Are you seeing this in your church? I want you to respond by loving your neighbor as you love yourself. And the only way to truly do that is to learn to love and to receive love from Jesus Christ himself. That's all I've got to say today. Walk without categories and see each other as a product of grace. And we'll see you tomorrow as we continue through our series.